My fellow Americans, we're at a point in history that there's two paths that we can go down, and one of them is freedom and liberty and the American way, and the other is not what any of us ever thought that we would be in. Now, people say they're waiting for the election because they're going to get Trump in, and God knows I would love President Trump to come back and be in office. Unfortunately, a lot of the same mechanisms that people questioned over the last few elections are still in place. A lot of the people that are questionable when it comes to the integrity of the election are still there. And before the election in 2024, at the rate this current administration is moving, I'm not really sure that we'll be allowed to see an election if we end up having to go to war. Now, a lot of people say, well, God's in control and God will handle this. And I love the Lord, and I pray to God every day. But I also can't help but think about all the people in the 40s that were Jewish that loved God and prayed to God every day and believed in God and held God in their hearts as they were walked into camps and then walked into stoves, and say, maybe God isn't going to get involved in this, that it's up to us, the people. And then you look at half of this country follows along with mainstream media and believes what it's spouting to them. Half of this country is willing to stand up and say, this administration is doing a fantastic job. Now that leaves us with us. We Americans who believe that there's something wrong, that there's something fundamentally wrong with what's going on. 15 million, 10 to 15 million immigrants have been allowed to come into the country with no set dates, given $5,000 cards and phones and a place to stay, and they're feeding them. And yet we have vets and we have homeless people on the streets that are being pushed out because they can't afford to keep up with the intense prices and the hikes that are going on. Now we have many groups, Threepers and Oath Promisers and many other groups that have formed that believe that they can fix this. But the majority of them have leaders that are old and scared to do anything for fear that they're going to lose their property and their livelihood and all of that. And that's understandable, but you're not leading then. You're not doing what's needed to be done. My thought is, it's time we Americans put on our thinking cap and say, we need to get together and we need to fix this. We need to solve these problems because the justice system, the law enforcement, the people that we voted in, none of that's doing it. And it's just getting worse and worse day by day. I love this country. I love what this country has afforded us all and where this country's potential can be. But if we don't stop what's happening now, we're going to lose it all. Join me. Amen.